guest has played to a few big crowds in his time. He's Mr. Luke Goss. Now, Boyd, let's start with you.
Yeah.
Festivals, what the hell is the point of them?
They're completely pointless, but you started to show my two favourite people, Jonathan Ross in that kinky outfit.
Doesn't he look smooth?
Fantastic, my hero, and David Bowie, massive hero, genius. I don't care about any festival at all, but David Bowie's medal I'm very excited
Luke,
about.
David Bowie, genius or silly old man who talks out of his arse?
No, well, I don't know if he talks out of his arse. I've heard that he can do that, but he's very talented man. But no, I think he's very... Would you see him in Zoolander? You've got all these current stars, and he turns up for 1 second, and that guy looks incredibly
he had the most stylish moment in the whole film.
One of the stylish moments I've ever seen. He's like you just want to look that starry and that famous for like half a second.
And his voice is still brilliant, and his new album, which I've exclusively heard, is fantastic.
You've
as well.
exclusively heard?
Yes.
Is it all sounding like that about the internet?
No, he's got a, story about a song about spaceman on it. It's just like the 60s all over.
Wow,
again. 70s.
Where did Jonathan learn to dance like that?
Jonathan Ross, he's been moving quite smoothly.
He does the breakdance.
Do you think? I think P Diddy gave him some tips.
Some tips. He gave him some tips. But I mean, have you ever been to a festival, boys?
I went to Glastonbury in 1987 when Elvis Costello was headlining.
Oh, right.
That's how old I am.
Yeah.
And it was kind of all right. Elvis was fine. The rest of it was really boring.
I don't want to generalise, you know, but I will. Loads of hippie kids taking drugs in a field listening to rubbish.
Totally boring, pointless. I'm too old for it.
I'm used to taking drugs. How rubbish do you think it sounds after that?
Well, exactly. After the drugs, it's, you know, Stereophonics sound like a really innovative rock band, not the pub nonsense they are. Have you ever been to any festivals at all?
I would love to have gone to a festival, but the problem is, if I went to a festival, I think I would have been stoned. I mean, I don't mean stoned from drugs. I mean, like in the old biblical sense.
Oh, yes.
Goss, please, you're playing a dangerous game with the legal thing. Very quickly, now, at the last Glastonbury Festival, over 20,000 tents were stolen. How do we stop crime at these festivals, Luke?
I think tent crime is becoming something that is it's heinous.
Luke, we're going to have to stop you there. Tent crime is something we'll move on to in the near future. Now, the festival season got off to a damp, squib-like start at Bristol when waterlogging forced organisers to scale down the three-day Essential Festival. But many fans didn't find out their favourite bands weren't playing until too late. Libby Potter poured oil on troubled waters for Liquid News.
There isn't much sign of waterlogging.
You put on, what was it, fluorescent, and you giggle a bit and go back to work?
How much do you think he paid for that? I reckon he paid like, what, 20 pence?
So if that, he made that out of just a bit of green or something.
Yeah, and what's that, like a 75,000% profit?
Yeah, you've done the maths very quickly.
See, people at festivals, they'll buy anything, these stalls.
Well, listen, a lot of bands have had to be cancelled and pulled out of Essential, but it's 1 minute silence and Reef. Who cares?
I know,
do you know what I mean?
Reef, exactly. Just kind of, they're very hairy public school boys, aren't they? I seem to remember. But it's not my kind of thing. I'm so fashionable. I was at an audience with Lulu last night rather than the Essential Festival. So you're
an
talking
audience
to the wrong.
with Lulu?
Yes, it was
star-studded.
Ronan, Elton, they're all there. Samantha Mumba.
Lulu's got one of the. She still has got one of the
still got
greatest
it.
voices.
And not being funny, she is fit, isn't she?
Yeah,
I don't mean
she looks incredible. That was
For
our
one of her age,
that's the kind of festival you want to go to.
I would.
See, it's a proven fact. You get three men sitting around a table, they'll at some point start saying how fit Lulu is. It's a scientific fact. Next, Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever Harry Potter can. Spider-Man has spun a $100 million web at US cinemas. The live-action adaptation has shattered box office records in its opening weekend. It took $114 million, beating the previous holder, Satanic Harry Potter, who only took $90 million in his first 3 days last autumn. Spider-Man opens in the UK on June the 14th. Can the Empire Strike Back? Will Star Wars Episode 2 obliterate all the webby competition and all memories of the underwhelming Phantom Menace when it opens next week? Attack of the Clones, the second of 3 prequels to Star Wars, got its first public airing in San Francisco over the weekend, when a chosen few were invited to a hoedown at the ranch of director George Lucas. Wow, very exciting indeed for all Star Wars fans and virgins alike. Let's cross live to San Francisco and Radio 1 film critic James King, who's been chowing down on Lucas hot dogs and popcorn. I don't know what that means. But James, you've seen the new Star Wars film, haven't you?
I have indeed. I saw it yesterday. At the moment I'm in San Francisco. You can see the Bay Bridge just in the background there. But if you travel about an hour north of San Francisco, you get to Marin County, and that's where Skywalker Ranch is. Now, this is the home of Lucasfilm. It's the home of Industrial Light and Magic. It's the home of George Lucas. That's where he puts his thinking cap on at night and makes up his Star Wars movies. And I saw the movie yesterday in his own private screening room.
So hang on, you got a phone call. How did this work? You got a phone call from George, did you, saying, come around, James, I got a video you might want to see. I got a bloke in Camden for $5. It's not even released yet.
Yeah, basically, that's what happened. He called me last week. He said, I love the stuff you do. I love Liquid News. I'm a major fan of your work. Come over. I'll show it to you. And behind me, this is not a word of a lie, behind me when I was watching it were George Lucas Hayden Christensen, who plays Anakin Skywalker, and Samuel L. Jackson. Now, I like the movie anyway, but if Samuel L. Jackson is sat behind you, you're going to like it even more, really, aren't
Now,
you?
is it true? I heard this was the first time Samuel L. Jackson himself had seen it. Is that true?
Is that what? Sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, yeah, I'll try and do it in English this time. I heard, it's only a very expensive link up, it doesn't matter. I heard that that was the first time that Samuel L. Jackson had actually seen the Star Wars film, is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was watching it with a load of journalists last night for the first time. He had a little area cordoned off for him in the cinema. The scummy journalists couldn't go in there just for Samuel L. And at the end, when his name came up on the credits, everybody clapped. He was good. I think that was just a little bit sycophantic, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit. Very quick, we're about to go in a second, but is it a good film? Is it better than the first one?
I think it's a lot better. You get a lot more edge to it this time. Anakin Skywalker is a really interesting character played by Hayden Christensen. You know, he's got troubles, he's got problems, he's tempted by the dark force, he's in love
James,
with
I'm going to
Natalie
stop you there,
Portman.
because to be honest, it
And
sounds
the
like a
special
load
effects-
of drivel for boring people to go and see. Hope they enjoy it. I couldn't give
It's
a
good.
stuff. Shut up.
Fabulous.
So I didn't mean that, James, you're lovely. Up next, she's not smelly, but she is on the Euro offensive. Jessica Garlick does Malta. Ramsey Street runaway Holly Valance has gyrated her naked down-under booty straight to #1. The latest Aussie export from documentary series Neighbours has managed to knock the sugar babes off the top slot with her Turkish delight, Kiss Kiss. Here's the Liquid News remix.
Onions.
Onions. Is that real? Have you heard that before?
Never heard it before.
See,
but
that's where you went wrong. You never had someone going,
visually
onions.
splendid.
What do these people say about that? You're never on the
I've got no
show
idea.
1 minute, next
We've
minute.
got to move on. We can't talk about Jessica Garlick's onions. But it was heated curlers at
think
dawn.
about them.
It made me chuckle. Heated curlers at dawn today when ex-Steps ladies Faye, Claire and H launched new singles. Faye's gone all falsetto and teamed up with Russell the Voice Watson for her operatic offering Someone Like You. But Claire and H are favourites to chart higher by sticking with what they know. A load of old Donna Summer-style twaddle for their insipid single, DJ. Latin escapologist Enrique Iglesias has insisted he's never played mixed doubles with Ala Kournikova. Asked if they were dating, the crooner replied, I wish. He also scotched rumours that he refused to kiss her on the set of his new video because she had a cold sore. He said he'd gone for it like a Frenchman. Well, it's almost time to get boom banger banging again. The Eurovision Song Contest is less than 3 weeks away, and this year the UK entrant is leaving nothing to chance. Pop Idol finalist Jessica Garlick has been on a presidential-style campaign across Europe to try to secure the votes of the smaller nations, which could make all the difference in Estonia. Our reporter Jane Goddard tracked her down to that Eurovision hotbed, Malta.
The following takes place in one 48-hour period in the run-up to Eurovision. Right now, 21-year-old Jessica Garlick is the UK's representative in the Eurovision Song Contest. This will be her first trip abroad.
I just changed £20 and I got 10 Maltese pounds back. I felt a bit cheated. I wanted thousands and thousands of something. It's my first mime. I've never mimed.
Cut mine now. Go on. It's been voted Malta's favourite TV programme 5 years in a row. It's 2 hours of heated debate. Tonight it's political. It's kind of news night meets.
With a host related to Ted Bundy.
Do you know who Ted Bundy is? No. The serial killer?
Oh, very nice.
But you're better off than me. You're better off than me because I love garlic bread, but I hate serial killers. Honestly, he's a relative of mine. He's my dad's second cousin. But I don't carry his chromosomes, so don't worry, I'm not a serial killer.
Do you remember the series, The Young Ones?
Yeah.
Do you?
That someone's still hurting me.
So that's the ballad. Let's test out the dance track.
Right, what was that man saying? I don't like mass murderers, but I love garlic. Luke, has that ever happened to you in your career?
Because I find because that's primarily the main topic of conversation at Eurovision song contest,
Yeah.
isn't it? Wouldn't you say?
I would say, to
It's
be
not really
honest.
about the music, is it?
You're a big fan of the... Well, it's not about music. Surely it's just the most insipid bland music there is. What's the point of Eurovision?
I'm trying to think of one because we're on TV, but I'd come back to me in about a year or so.
Okay, we'll come back to you in about a year.
It's so that people can have very camp kind of parties once a year and watch the worst music gathered together for them in Europe on one night. I think people get drunk and have a good time and they bet on the thing. It's one night of fun.
No,
never watched it in my life. Well, I watched the Terry Wogan bits, obviously, which are
of course.
legendary. Terry talking.
She was going around just trying to get some love there. Don't you think she was squeezing the European nations from?
This is new, isn't it? For the British contestants to go around Europe in front of lots of fat kind of.
But I think what Luke was
executives.
implying there was that. Because she's very pretty, that she was just winking at the judges.
Well,
Saw Mr.
you see that guy who's sitting there with one guy's like, oh, she looks lovely.
Isn't that against the rules?
Has Jessica got the same balls as other Eurovision winners? I'm talking, of course, about Dana International.
Yes. Good one.
4 years on, and it still gets a.
Absolutely. She was at the audience with Lulu last night, though.
Really?
Yeah. So she was back in London for that schmoozing, no doubt.
You see
Lulu's people. No, she was in front. She did ask an impromptu question.
Listen, all we can do is wish the best of luck to Jessica on her Eurovision song, whatever it is she's singing, I don't know. Next, older men behaving badly again. Hurley in DNA Whirly, and oh dear, it's Richard Gere. Don't laugh at my links, Goss, or I will throw you out. A female fan of Silverhead screen smoothie Richard Gere has been charged with stalking him. The actor has reportedly been bombarded by more than 100 phone calls in 3 months from not-so-pretty woman Ursula Reichert-Habishaw. She was arrested after refusing to leave Gere's apartment until he came to see her. Liz Hurley is standing by for a right good swabbing. The single mum and her little bundle of joy, Damien Charles, are due to be DNA tested sometime this month. Steve Bing, who Liz insists is the father, will also have a sample taken. The actress says she's looking forward to it happening as soon as possible. If Bing's the daddy, he'll have to fork out £40,000 every month. Alec Baldwin's stretching his acting talents to the limit by going into drama teaching. The Pearl Harbor star will serve as a distinguished professor and hold masterclasses at Southampton College. But the one at Long Island University, not Hampshire, thinks. Alec stepped in when brother Mike was forced to cancel because of an industrial dispute at Baldwin's Casuals. Adult baby flatmates Gary and Tony are to return to TV screens in a revival of Men Behaving Badly. Martin Clunes and Neil Morrissey have agreed to return for 3 specials to be shown on BBC One next year. Caroline Quentin and Leslie Ash will also return as the pair's long-suffering girlfriends. The last episode, shown at Christmas 1998, prompted a BBC apology after hundreds of complaints about prime-time self-pleasuring gags. Men Behaving Badly coming back. Is British comedy safe again?
It is absolutely safe. Well, it just shows you that BBC One needs these big hits. It hasn't got any kind of massive sitcom thing you can rely on, particularly at Christmas when they need to have Christmas specials. Now the Royal Family's gone, Only Fools and Horses, they did the Christmas special. It wasn't brilliant, was it?
Well, that got something like 1 billion views or something.
And everyone watched it.
Only Fools and Horses I did love. I didn't like that last one. I thought it was rubbish too.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
But also, I think this coming back is good because we need to get him off that commercial that he does. Because I think that sucks.
Also, but I think I don't mind programs. Exactly, you're right. I don't mind programs coming back when they're of the quality that Simon Nye, brilliant writer. So I think he could come up with a good thing, a good. What's the word? Renovation? No, that's not the right word. Of the programme. Resurrection.
You saw about Neil Morrissey in that advert. I quite like those. And actually, me and my girlfriend once humorously saw Neil Morrissey in a pub, and we made up a funny song about it. Has this ever happened to either of you, Luke?
No.
Okay, moving on. Up next, he owes us nothing. He hates that. Nothing at all. Luke Goss isn't just a pretty face. In fact, in his latest film, he looks more like a dog's backside than the former 80s pop icon. In Blade 2, Luke plays Nomak, a vampire with the sole aim of whopping the half-vampire, half-man ass of Wesley Snipes, so he can take over the world. Here's a quick bite.
You want me so bad, Blade? Here I am. Why kill me? You and I, we have the same enemy. We want the same thing.
I'm looking. I didn't see you. What was going on? Did we show the wrong clip? What was that?
No, that wasn't me. That was some other dude.
No, that was you. You're playing the vampire. You're having a fight with Wesley Snipes, man.
I have two real big fights with him. That was the first one in the film.
Yeah.
Then we have the big kind of good guy, bad guy.
It's looking
fight at the end of the film.
pretty cool. Was that you doing all the stunts, or did they have one of those stunt body
No,
doubles?
about 85%. And we had a Navy SEAL, you know, from the East Coast of America. We did that, trained me 3 months, and 2 guys from Japan. We did kung fu training for the finesse, and then we did combat training so I could kick your ass.
Okay, you will not kick my ass because I am really, really
handy.
tough. Yeah, really handy around the kitchen. But how did you get into acting? It seems, you know, it's a big surprise.
Nearly 10 years now I've been doing it. I did rep theatre to start with, and then I did some other touring shows, and then the West. I played Danny Zuko in Greece. I did a couple of independent English movies where I played a drug addict in rehab.
Oh dear.
And then I did. I went to America and just tried to see what I could do there, and I managed to land a couple of films, both actually with Wesley Snipes.
So what's the other film you've done?
Zigzag. It's called with John Leguizamo,
Yeah.
who's in Ice Age, who did one of the voices in Ice Age, and he was in Spawn and Carlito's Way. So it's him, me, Snipes.
And everyone says, "Oh, how did you get the part in Blade 2?" I assume it's you auditioned for it. Is that what happened?
I auditioned for it, made a lot of people. Then I got a checkbook and just wrote very low.
Dear sir, here's 50,000 of your American bucks.
Like the Eurovision thing.
Yeah.
That was my kind of squeeze.
I don't want to know about your squeezes to get acting work, sir.
Yeah,
That's between you and your conscience and God. Now, you also got nominated for an award for this, didn't you?
I found out Friday that it's called, the Saturn Award, it's called, it's the Cinescape Award.
It's the male genre face of the future.
Yep.
Wow.
It's
Sir.
the 28th annual thing. It's televised on the 10th of June from Los Angeles. I just got nominated for my performance in the movie on Friday, I think.
Now, people say you're lucky. In the 80s, you had a massive career. You got a massive career again. So you're having 2 bites at the cherry. That's not fair, is it?
Not for you. Or from a lot of people out there.
How do you put it back? Because there are so many people that can't make that step into another career, that can't make that comeback, that are just forgotten. You're doing.
I think what it is,
movies.
you have to let go of your past. You can't wear a name tag saying, look, you can't. I mean, there comes a time you have your moment where you get looked after, and then you have your moments where no one gives a damn, and you have to get over it. Move on, like you say.
Seriously, I'm fascinated by that, and especially with all the pop idol thing, everything's happening at the moment. You were massive, and I got a clip round my ear from my mum once because I ripped my jeans, and boy did I get in serious trouble because of him. But you were massive, massive, massive. Then it just went. That must have felt terrible, man. You must have felt quite low.
I didn't feel low. The misconception is that it kind of crumbled. What happened was I left the band. The album went in again. The 3rd album went into the charts, and I just felt hugely quenched by being in that kind of band. You see the world, and you're inspired by things, and you're also infuriated by things. And being in Brussels or any pop band isn't the vehicle or the medium to kind of speak about that. And I realised I needed to find out who I was going to be.
A lot of the 80s pop bands, I hate using that term because it's not brilliant, but a lot of the bands from those days are getting back and doing the package tours. Does that appeal to you in any way?
Yeah, I mean, definitely after having been in the #1 film in the world for the last month or so, I'm hugely tempted about touring small venues in Britain.
No, but you played Wembley Stadium though, didn't you? You played Wembley Stadium. You had Frank Sidebottom as the compere.
We had, did we? Oh,
Yeah.
we did. The guy with the big thing, and we had.
That's
I tell
his
you,
real
who
name.
there was the DJ. We had to have to. Weren't you there? You did.
No, I wasn't there, but no,
You stripped, didn't you? Didn't you
I was
just
shut your face.
How old are
Goss,
you?
for
You're older
goodness
than I
sake.
am, aren't you?
And finally, do you know when will you be famous?
Listen,
You're still plugging away. You're still plugging away. And he's kicking me under the desk.
Bless him.
Still ahead, Itchy and Scratchy, Beavis and Butthead, Terry and June, now Matanya and Shaggy. Russian cartoon news next. She smokes pot, rots like a red deer, and she's just a couple of clicks away. No, it's not my nan, it's the Russian version of Beavis and Butthead, and it's become one of the most popular websites in the country. Now, Miss Anya is about to transfer to TV, prompting real fears of a Channel 4 Eastern European animation season. Our Moscow correspondent Dasha Pushkova eats my shorts for Liquid News.
Come to Trinidad, they got the young girls all going mad.
This is Oleg Kuvaev, and this is his famous creation, Masyanya, or rather her toy copy. Masyanya herself is a web girl.
Здорово, Масяня. Ну, привет, лохматый. Ты, говорят, в Амстердам ездила, а? И перед глазами все плывет.
Oleg doesn't live in Amsterdam, but in St. Petersburg.
Здесь все в одном месте происходит.
So this is where it all happens, all in one place. Work where you live and vice versa, just like any other artist.
Quite unexpectedly for her creator, she's become an extremely popular character. Unlike your average sleek Russian woman, Masyanya is a rude, foul-mouthed and not exactly attractive. Still, all that, and her black sense of humor, especially appreciated by Russians, makes her everyone's favorite. The website gets as many as 30,000 hits a day, and Alek works round the clock. Mycenae is dubbed by the Western media as Russia's answer to Beavis and Butthead, but Alek prefers a comparison with South Park.
That cartoon also was a spontaneous project. As far as I know, they started it all in a garage.
The same with Mycenae, there's no special concept, it's all pure fun. As for Mycenae's future, it's as blurred as that of many Russians, walking into the unknown, hoping for the best. Dasha Pushkova, BBC News, St. Petersburg.
If I could tell you what former teen idol Luke Goss has just been saying about that cartoon character, you would be shocked.
I think she's gorgeous. She's a very voluptuous kind of character.
Well, I'm glad you're using polite language now, not indoor language that you were using earlier. What's your favourite Eastern European cartoon, Luke?
It's a show called Pop Rocky, and they play cartoon animated versions of very credible bands like Poison and Europe.
What's your favourite Poison song?
Give me a break.
Yeah, well, it was Scorpions, wasn't it? Down to Gorky Park. What do you think's going to happen? European cartoons, are they going to be big in England again?
I have no idea, but how can you tell this is Beavis and Butthead? This doesn't look anything like Beavis and Butthead. I think it's more sophisticated than Beavis and Butthead.
I think it could be. We'll have to leave it there, but before we go, we've got to look at today's top stories. Summer festivals are under fire for ripping off poor students and trainee accountants. George Lucas has handed out popcorn at his ranch to show off the latest Star Wars flick. And Jessica Garlick has launched her assault on Eurovision by vote schmoozing in the marginal seat of Malta. Well, that's it from us. Liquid News is live at 8 every weeknight on Choice. Oh dear, I'm excited because I've got you here. Lorraine Kelly and Patrick Kilty are amongst this week's hosts. We're nothing if not diverse. My name is Ian Lee. We're going to carry on talking about Eastern European cartoons until the cows come home. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. God bless. Thank you very much.